I think one of the biggest takeaways in regards to religion of any kind, spirituality of any kind, any belief system is, we are creatures that are built of to be of servitude. We're servants. It's interesting. I don't even know why obviously you create things to work for you and to do things for you, that maybe you can't do. And maybe only this creation can do. So maybe there's something that maybe God can't even do, and only humans at a certain point can do whatever it created us to do. Because we ain't hit that point yet, but I don't want to veer too far off from this. So we know that we're created to serve. We know that we're here to worship. How do we know that? You can go straight into the Bible and God will tell you how it's a jealous God and not to worship any other gods outside of it, right? The purpose of finding some type of spirituality, the purpose of God, is the reality is this. You gonna worship something. You might not agree, but you gonna worship your thought process, right? You hold so dear to it, right? You start to create this idol out of your own thoughts. It's an idea that turns into an ideal that you try to realize, and you end up idolizing and materializing it and making it a real thing. Now, look, you going to worship your race. People race worship, they religious worship, they demonic worship. You worship your tobacco, your drink every Friday night. You worship sex. You worship social media. You worship adult content, pornography. You worship satanic videos, music videos, movies. You worship fast food. That's why you're fat and obese. You clearly worship domestic violence relationships because you still in it. You clearly worship a cheating man or a woman because you still dating them. These are the things that you still worship, bro. All of you. Look, all these things might not apply to each and every one of you all the way across the board. But if I keep talking, I'll eventually hit every last one of you. Every last one. There's not one person that can escape my perception, period. So, since that is the case, I'm going to put the ego back in the bag. But that is actually the case. If I talk long enough, I promise you, I'll nail you all. You're all screwed. Pun intended. Anyway, so I want y'all to see things differently, bro. Because a lot of people be like, even if you don't, I want to talk to the non-believers, bro. Even if you don't believe in God, you still believe in that. So now you're still believing in this thing that's the exact opposite of God, but is only built off of God. On some level, you still believe. Even if you want to argue that and say semantics, word jargon, you're being a wordsmith, you're talking too fast, let me slow it down for you. Bro, you're going to worship the idea that you're agnostic or an atheist or you don't believe in religion because it's outdated and it's not applicable. I told y'all, it's always applicable. You just got to see how it fits your puzzle, bro. God is different for each and every one of us. How it intertwines in our life is different for each and every one of us, but the way that it's working is always the same. With the highest intentions, bro. With the holiest, right? Since that's the word we use, the holiest intentions, right? Good intentions, okay? Not of evil, not of dark, bro. Like, you ain't gotta believe that God's real in religion. You ain't gotta have a spirituality. But you're going to believe and worship your politics. You're going to worship that echo chamber that sustains you as an avatar, as a person. You're going to worship the principles that make up your blueprint for life, that make up your perception. You're worshiping these things. And it becomes a form of worship when we get so emotionally intertwined in belief systems and ideas, thoughts. When you actually emotionally attach and then you start to, on a psychological level, make it a part of your being, you act out of this will in accordance with this. This is a form of worship because it's a daily routine and how you conduct yourself around a certain ideal. So you will definitely worship the flesh. You will worship your suffering and not even know it. You will worship prostituting yourself for the devil. You will worship quite literally evil. So to create a system that helps people climb out of themselves, which is hell inside of you. It's hell inside of all of us. Because heaven and hell is in the mind, but whatever. If you use these systems to become a better version of you, I say job well done. And it just speaks even more volumes to the power of God, right? Because you don't have to believe to apply the principles to become a better person. You can still, it's like reading any other psychological book. Look at it like a regular book then. There are certain character principles in there that will keep you from being around certain friends, thieves, prostitutes, murderers. There are certain things that you won't do, which can then enact the law of attraction, karma. You know, you reap what you sow. It will still make you an overall better person. Therefore, you have to understand that there are certain constructs, and the Bible is one of them, that are invented for subjugation of hell, to subjugate you to hell. But then if you see with spiritual eyes and you know how to use this shit, you know, whether they putting lies in it or not, you'll be able to see the truth. You'll be able to connect the dots, and you will be able to use it to subjugate yourself to heaven, dog. That's what I'm telling you, bro. But y'all believe what y'all want. I'm not here to interfere with nobody's free will. I have no interest in that. I have no interest in teaching anything. I have no interest in actually trying to help. Not anymore. I used to be a personal trainer, went to school to be a pastor, you know, passed that test, yada, yada, yada. I did all these. I have no interest in helping people. I do this simply because I love God and I love what I do. I love this. I love giving my perspective. And to be real, I spent so much of my youth and life watching other people's perspective. One day it just clicked when COVID happened. I'm getting on the internet. I love what I do, but I don't intend to actually help you people, because you can only help. You can really, to say that people can't help people, that is a lie. You could take a look around. We could all help each other on some level. But when it comes to this type of content, this type of perspective, my intention is not to actually help y'all with anything. It's just to give you a different perspective that could actually help you in your walk through life when you're dealing with certain situations. If you can recall this perspective that I give you and actually apply it, make it applicable. Don't make it conceptualized. That was my other little name. It was the Light, CEO of Perception, conceptualize.com, right? So a lot of people try to talk about conceptualizing things. The reason that religion, spirituality, and I said this before, somebody pissed me off with it, trying to combat me in real life, basically saying, you know, the Bible ain't really helped me, you know, as far as in my life. And it's like, you have no idea how much it actually has helped. But not only that, this is a person who had no belief system, and that demon was trying to attack me and God. You know what I'm saying? It's one of those things where you're saying it's just philosophy and it has no real weight in life and it doesn't help, you know, but you're already hyper negative. You definitely don't know enough of my life history. You weren't there. You don't have a conviction. You don't believe. You don't see. And at the end of the day, you're not applying. Therefore, everything that I say to people who don't practice is just conceptualizing an idea. Do y'all understand? So don't conceptualize shit. Actualize the spiritual principles. That's what the fuck I'm telling y'all. I actually be actualizing it. I conceptualize, then I actualize. I seriously, and then I realize with real eyes. Look, I want y'all to stop worshiping evil. On some level, I do want the world to change. But who am I to do that? It's going to take all of us. I'm gone.